Greetings, my excellent friends. It's been a long time. Okay, it's been a long time. It's been since I was in.
I never affiliate with anyone who isn't prepared to drown me in money.
From looking at the numbers, WA is truly singing the spirit of that song.
Fucking high school. Since I left high school, 2013. I mean, 2013 was my first year of uni. I left high school in 2012, but still, my adult life. As soon as I was old enough to understand that it mattered, the government changed. Now, I don't expect Labour to do much. Like, yeah, you're right, Grefter. Let's go. Some Greens and some Independents winning enough that we may get Labour to do something. It is better to have people that don't do anything than it has to people who actively undo and actively do bad things. But ideally, yes, there will be pressure on them to actually... you gotta take your wins, right? Like, for everybody who celebrates right now, you'll get someone say, yeah, but are these other guys really that much better? They're not good, because you don't get good. But think of it in the same sort of framework as Biden versus Trump. If you had to pick one, you know, if you have to pick one or the other, any person with a brain knows exactly who to pick. It's the same here. Ideally, neither, but... yeah. That is amazing, though, yes. The Greens are actually getting seats. Traditionally, it's just Bant, right? Lower house, right? The Greens get some space in the Senate, but they don't get space in the lower house except for Bant. But they're actually... He's actually going to have two mates now. That's new, and that's exciting. It's really fun seeing the particular seats that are literally just a fight between Labour and the Greens, and how your brain shifts, and you're like, wait, the guys I want to win everywhere else, I actually want to get done here. Anybody who's sitting here in confusion as to why I just played a very strange and unusual song for me, and what I'm talking about, Australia had an election, and I haven't really talked about it because I voted like a week ago. We went to an early place because... COVID, we didn't want to walk in to a busy polling place, so we took care of it earlier on, which isn't that difficult to do. But we got our votes in, and so I sort of lost track of which day it actually was. It was just a bunch of noise to me with a lot of political ads, most of which I did not like, because it very much seems like the advertising budgets are a bit uneven, because every single ad that I saw was for the people that I would never vote for in a million years. But anyway, we have had about a decade of the wrong people, to my mind, and we've finally gotten out of it. And last time they called it the unlosable election for Labour. Our two parties are Labour and Liberal are the bad guys. I know that sounds weird. You'd think Liberal are the ones closer to the left. They're not here. They're the Tories. They're the Republicans. They're the whatever you need to call them. They're the complete bastards compared to the partial bastards of Labour. That name at least makes a bit more sense. Yeah, look, it's probably a lot of people have changed the way that they vote because of COVID. I don't know. I all I know is I followed along the idea of another person, so I I didn't really put a lot of thought into it. Oh, and then there's the UAP. Jesus, I got a text from them that I didn't know was from them because it went straight to my spam folder, and then I saw on Twitter someone was saying, "Oh, it was one last wave of harassment texts from Clive fucking Palmer." We have this one guy. I guess he's a billionaire or not billionaire. He's a millionaire or something, but he basically runs for office and has this party that he bankrolls. It's all just his own vanity, and they get some stuff, but they have more ads than anybody else, despite being smaller because he's the money guy. At least that's my interpretation of Palmer. Yeah, no, urgent. Australia transferring all AU hospital and health to World Health Org immediately. What does that even mean? I thought someone was after my money. Because I didn't open the message. I still haven't. But it says, yeah, urgent. Australia transferring all AU hospital and health to World Health Org immediately. That sounds like a spam text that's trying to steal my money. Apparently, if I click on that, the text message finishes with a suggestion that we should vote for United Australia. Nah. Nah. But yeah, I've been watching the results come in, and like I said, I hadn't really talked about it on stream because I hadn't registered that it was happening this Saturday. But yeah, the right people have won. The votes haven't been fully counted yet, but it's like the American election. It's like it becomes a maths game after a certain point. If you've counted, like, I don't know, 70%, 80%, or whatever, after a while it's like no matter what the rest of these look like, we know the answer. We know the answer. So things are good. The song I played is an Australian classic, Am I Ever Gonna See Your Face Again, which is a kind of funny to me because if you actually listen to the lyrics of the song, it's about, I think, losing a relationship. Like, am I ever going to see your face again as a sad man contemplating an ex that doesn't want anything to do with him? Or someone who died, I think. One of those two things. But, I mean, you go right on Greft or whatever, post. It's meant to be, like, sad and reflectory, but the Australian people being smartasses, all they heard was the line, am I ever going to see your face again? And so a tradition came up that you go to a concert with them playing that song, and you scream at every chorus, no way, get fucked, fuck off. And so this song became a joke. And to me, it's a really good song to celebrate somebody going away. Although it's not really what it's supposed to be about, right? It's meant to be a bit more somber and serious than that. But nah, fuck it. Just eat shit, scummer. Anyway, yeah, that's the end of Scott Morrison, who's one of the most odorous leaders we've had. I thought Abbott was bad at the start of things turning poorly, but they really outdid themselves. I mean, read the messages on Discord as they came in. I'm fairly upfront about what's going on. You read the thing I post on Thursday, you read the thing I post yesterday, you read the thing I post today, and you'll know exactly why I'm here, what I'm doing, and you shouldn't have any questions for it. It's all available in the announcement section. And I guess the Go Live section. But yeah, Grafter, what were you planning on linking? Neatrek, you had a line of 3 people when you went? 2 people more than you were expecting. Well. You did not get the democracy sausage. Yeah, neither did we, because we went early. We did not get the democracy sausage, but we did. We took care of ourselves after, but was worth it to not have to deal with public and not have to deal with the rats hanging outside of the polling place trying to throw cards at you. I get why that system works, but it's always felt insulting to me, the whole how to vote card thing. I don't know if they do that everywhere, but like representatives of pretty much everybody on the list will each be trying to give you a card telling you exactly how that party wants you to vote. Like which order they want you to put their stuff in. Obviously them first, but they have their idea of who they want preferenced other than them. And so they try to... Like, I've never liked that. I feel like it doesn't encourage people to actually think. And to get a clear idea of every name on the list. Like, if I'm going to put numbers down to vote for people, I'm not going to do that unless I know who they are and what they mean, right? And I'm going to do that on my own. Hours before polls closed, there was a text alert sent about asylum seekers like it was 2002 again. Oh, that's Liberal Party, though. Breaking. Australian Border Force, which is still the dumbest thing we have, has intercepted an illegal boat trying to reach Australia. Keep our borders secure by voting Liberal today. I must ask, was there a boat? Senior lecturer in politics at the Australian Catholic University said the text messages reeked of desperation. Yeah, well, I suppose they had reason to feel it. My first thought was I didn't think it was from the Liberal Party because it seemed underhanded. I just want to know, I wish there was a way to know how many votes for the Liberal Party were lost by the hole in the budget ad. There's a specific ad that was a really annoying tune, sung by a really poor singer, making fun of the Labour Party. And it played on TV and on the internet over and over again, and everybody, universally that I have seen comment on it, thinks it is awful. And I genuinely think it would have lost the Liberal Party votes. I genuinely think that there are some apathetic swing voters out there who didn't really give a shit, who were like, oh, fuck this ad, I'm voting for the other guys. Like, that advertisement, that specific singular advertisement, had to have a net negative for the Liberal Party. There is absolutely no way that was effective on any human being who wasn't already going to vote for them. Absolutely no way. Yes, South Robin, that is the point. That boat message is meant to stoke the fires of xenophobia. But yeah, if you hear that, my throat has no problem with that noise. For people who are asking about my throat, yeah, I'm seeing a doctor on Tuesday because of some strain and some pain that is very specific. I don't have a sore throat. That's not the right word. If I had a sore throat, it would hurt to talk, it would hurt to swallow, it would hurt to everything. 99% of my throat-based actions are unimpeded, non-painful, and completely normal. My problem is the 1%. Certain, I guess, strenuous stuff, such as the voices that I do when I do this stuff, one of the reasons why I probably won't stream for the full length today, isn't as strong as it used to be. And there is a pain in the left side of my throat that happens when I make certain sounds, like loud ones. Like if I were to shout woo-hoo in a high-pitched voice because of what happened today, I'd probably do that if I wasn't dealing with this. But if I do that, I know it'll hurt. So it's very mild and minor and easy to avoid if you aren't someone who does funny voices on the internet for hours a night. So, a doctor will tell me what to do. And if that means I have to take a few weeks off, which it may, like, I'm prepared for that, and I think you should be too, but it might not be that way. It might be like, I'll just give you some medicine and it should clear up. There's some inflammation there, I can see it, and this will clear it. Or it might be, hey, you've got nodules on your throat and you're going to need to stop talking for a month and then it'll heal, and also follow this list of things to do and things to take. I don't know, I'm not a doctor. We'll find out. I'm less worried about the pain it's causing, because the pain it's causing is like, you know that pain where you're just like, huh. You know, it's like you've bruised something on your finger or something, and it's just like, that's there, right? You hesitate from doing things with the affected body part because you think, oh, well, it's already sore, I don't want to hurt it worse. But at the current state of hurt, it's just like, okay. Like, you don't care. It's not disrupting you. That's where I'm at. But because I use my voice for a living, I'm going to a doctor because I'm not a fool. But, like, I'm not in distress doing this stream or any other stream that I've done. I'm just aware that there is something that could worsen, so I'm going to deal with it. Anyway, the important takeaway is that nobody plays Armchair Doctor, because that's what we had. The first person I told about this in any online context immediately turns into an Armchair Doctor, and I'm not having that twice. I was polite to them, I will not be polite to you. You've been warned, everybody together, we understand this, let's be mature. It wasn't Sam. No, if it was Sam, I'd say Sam. If it was Sam, I would say it was Sam. Instead, it's someone that I feel slightly less inclined to dunk on. Now, thank you, Ran, by the way. I am very happy, yes. We played a song that might get me DMCA'd to start today's stream. I don't care. I will be highlighting this VOD, but I always cut the starting anyway, because I don't see any reason to have it attached to the highlight. So that song will be cut, and it shouldn't be a problem. But I highly recommend, if you are truly wishing to commemorate the good Australian news, that you have a listen to this. And especially sing along to the audience participation part of the chorus. That's my recommendation to all of you. Yeah, well, I was gonna start my Ace Attorney streams with that song, South Robin, pretty much exclusively, but I couldn't this week because of the election. I had to commemorate. I had to. Oh, it's so good. Now, where are we? Here. I think we're here. We're in the middle of the investigation for the stolen Turnabout. How's the audio, by the way? Me versus the game. Any problems? Should anything go up or down? Because my microphone volume changes more often now that I'm doing voiceover stuff, so I need to always be on alert that I might have it too soft or too loud. Well, unfortunately, the game is not very flexible here, given that we are at the lowest. Shit, we could... What happens if I turn it up? Okay. I mean, I can't really watch anything when I'm streaming. People can share things with each other, but I don't really engage with that. The only thing that I can look at that you send in links is pictures and text. Anyway, yeah, actually, the desktop audio is up a little. I think I turned that up. This is traditionally where it is. No, I can always adjust the volume outside of the game. It's just that if I do that, it affects everything. So now Final Fantasy XIV is going to be quiet next tomorrow, which may not be a problem. But yeah, the thing is, I had changed my OBS desktop volume level for something else. I think it was for Susan Calloway, but I had changed that, and then I had changed 14's in-game volume to suit it. So now that might be off again. But this is where it was. This is where it traditionally was. As for my voice, yeah, my voice is way louder than it used to be. Sorry, 1 second. There we go. Okay. Now what the fuck are we doing? We've talked to you. We're reminding ourselves a little of Maya's mother, and I don't really recall why. What was the Karain village custom? There's no men there. Right, the men all leave or something. I think that was just Pearl backstory. Yeah, Pearl's dad ran off. Right, no, yes, the stolen Turnabout. The vase has been stolen. That's why these guys are relevant. Maya hasn't been accused of murder this time, or possibly yet, because there hasn't been a murder yet. Or at all. I don't know. The vase has been taken. That's yeah. This is the game where my knowledge, by the way, starts to decline. Like, I don't even remember what the third case is. I remember cases... I remember the ending. I remember the last case of this game, but 2 and 3 are really hazy for me. I vaguely remember these characters. I remember Ron Delight and his wife. And... what's his name? The detective. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you anything about the NPCs in 3. I think I remember one who's a bit... different? Possibly the Mo the Clown of Game 3? I don't know if we'll keep up traditions there, but I don't remember a lot of Case 3 at all, and I honestly cannot tell you if this case turns into a murder or not. I feel like it will because every case in Phoenix Wright is a murder, and I think I'd remember if this one wasn't. But there's a chance this is just a theft trial. I don't know. Sorry. I don't know how many Australians are still here, but I've just been sent a screenshot of a Reddit comment saying, "Time for a candlelight vigil outside Engadine Macca's." I don't know if I want to explain that or not. It's a bit complicated, but if you know what that's about, you're laughing. Anyway, Phoenix Wright. We don't have anything to do here, I don't believe. I wish there was some kind of quest log or little... You're not supposed to take 2 weeks off when you play this game is the answer, but I wish there was something to remind me of where we were. But I guess we go exploring. Like, it's not a case of having forgotten the details, it's a case of having forgotten the specifics, you know? Like, I don't know who the last person we talked to was. Probably her, but, like, I had to be reminded that the thing that was stolen was related to Karain, and that's why we're talking about Karain. I would have remembered as soon as we went here, but, yeah. It's like a psych lock, you know? We gotta slowly unlock the bits of right, that's what we're at. Right, that's what we're at. Alright, so October 12th, Lordly Taylor, Main Exhibition Hall. Maya! Oh, Ms. Andrews. Right, and Adrian Andrews is here for some reason, and she's wearing the exact same outfit in a different color palette. It's gone from blue to black. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. Your precious urn. Your precious urn! Please, calm down. What's wrong? It never ends. Everything I touch ends in failure. Maya, I'm sorry. I'll do anything to make it up to you. No, it's okay. I know I don't look it, but I'm good with my hands. I could make you another urn. Hold on, just wait, okay? Breathe, calm down, and talk to us. Forgive me. Forgive me. Yeah, she's learned how to emote, and that's about it. Some things are lit up again. That's probably where the sacred urn was going to be displayed. Yeah, I guess so. Should I put my attorney's badge there? You know, as a replacement. I think it's a little too small for that. What about my Magatama? Now you're being silly. That's definitely too small. It's the folding screen of Karain's sacred writings. But I can't read what it says on it. Really? But I thought it was some kind of important spell. Ah, yeah, my mother read it and taught me to memorize it. I'll be in trouble if I ever forget it. Looks like the Karain channeling school is teetering dangerously on the edge. That's okay, we'll just get Maya's mother to come back and teach... Oh. Wow, this is incredible. It's a tiny version of my whole village. Hey, I've got a great idea. We can make a miniature of your office, Nick. I don't know about that. The whole place is overflowing with junk. You'd die before you finish painstakingly recreating that mess. Well, we could always clean it up first. True. That should be it. Damask's calling card. Right, so it's Mask Damask. So when did you get the calling card from Mask Damask? Let's see. Exactly 10 days ago. I was going to show it to the police, but that detective stopped me. So you asked Detective Atme to help with security? Yes. In fact, it was about 20 days ago that I hired him. He seemed to know much more about Mask to Mask than the police. So you hired him for security even before the calling card arrived? Well, yes. I had a premonition that something bad might happen. I've learned to trust my hunches. So that's why there are security cameras, even in the basement warehouse? Yes. Lordly Taylor is very serious about their security measures. It was their way of saying, bring it on to any potential thieves. Well, he sure brought it last night. And even left with a nice souvenir. Can you tell us a bit about the security for the treasure exhibit? It was all my fault. I never should have called this paltry little collection a treasure exhibit anyway. Why do you say that? The urn that was stolen is a pretty important object. Maybe, but its actual value after appraisal was, well, practically zero. Zero? I polished it until it was just about glowing. I thought maybe I could make it look more valuable. But that urn contains the soul of Mystic Amy. Anyway, I left all the security arrangements to Detective Atney. But 5 days ago, I began receiving all sorts of other exhibit items from Coraine. Lots of people started going in and out of the warehouse down there. So maybe one of them was actually Mask to Mask in disguise. No, I personally checked out everyone that came through here, so that's not possible. Knowing Adrian, she probably even checked out what they ate for breakfast that morning. Miss Andrews? I know, it's all my fault! But what's done is done. I'll make it up by making a new urn for you! I'll even put a soul in it! I'm just wasting my time. She's too far gone. She's gonna say that to everything? Seems like it. If you're wondering, no, I didn't skip this one. These two tend to share the same reaction. Trapping souls is a bad thing to do? Eh. Yeah, no, she's not gonna do anything. Maybe at me? Nope. Alright, well, we can keep looking. I think we've looked at everything here. Oh no, some shit's lit up again. Is that because I have Maya? I don't know. I wonder if that detective brought this camera in with him. Good question. Let's take a look at it. Huh? It says property of Lordly Taylor on it. So it's borrowed? Kinda strange for an ace detective, don't you think? Right, he says he put it there. According to the computer data, someone did in fact go through those big doors last night, right? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's still a good idea to look at all these, because it'll remind me, even if we've got the info before. The shutter did go off once, you know. That pathetic-looking wooden box. Ah! That's the box that had the sacred urn in it! Don't touch it, there may be clues to the thief's identity on it. I worked so hard to make that box. Huh? You made that poor excuse for a box, Maya? What's that supposed to mean? And I was so proud of it. Why do you have Zelda Wind Waker eyes? I fucking hate this. Your eyebrows should not be in front of your hair. Poor Maya. Maybe it'd have been better if Mask to Mask had taken the box too. I'm really starting to like this thing. It's so cool looking. I'd like to strap it to my waist and walk around the town like a samurai. Careful. Gumshoe will lock you up and throw away the key if you're caught. Also, there's a downside to being a samurai. A precious urn was right there on the other side of these doors. Yeah, and according to the security camera data, someone was in there last night. What I'd like to do to him. Havoc Helsing, have you ever played Shadow Tactics? Also, you wanted an insult. having numbers in your name is like the most I'm 14 and I think this is cool thing ever. Like, relic of the early to mid 2000s internet culture. "20 years. No, I was right. Ha! See, that's an insult from my perspective, but it might be a compliment to others. So it's like, I don't know, I'm hedging my bets there. Looks to me like it's been dry for several days. There's something suspicious about this paint mark. The bottom left part of it is shaped oddly, and it's shocking pink. I don't see how the color of the paint is in any way important. Phoenix, you're an idiot! The fucking box is covered in the pink, and is shaped like the hole. Look! The box was there! It's not hard! I like how without the sword in her hand, Amy just looks like she's, like, getting ready to jab someone? When we were here with Miss Andrews last night, the statue wasn't where it is now. Yeah, it was right next to the door, wasn't it? Well, if someone moved it, it was probably the criminal. Maybe he didn't like being watched by Mystic Amy while he stole the urn. Hey, cut it out! You're giving me the creeps with that kind of talk. There's also the fact that this was here where the paint is, but I don't think that shape is meant to indicate the movement of this tray, because there's no paint on this, so this had to move before the paint was spilled. Like, before the theft, when we came in here, this statue was right there. Takes you several minutes scrolling to find my year for age verification. Not bad. Does anybody actually give the honest answer when they're asked for age verification? Like, why do you want the random website to have one more piece of data about you? I mean, you don't have to make it obvious. You don't have to say, I was born January 1, 1901, but, like, give it a couple years difference, a different month and a different day. You're not lying about being of age, but they don't need to know your birth date unless it's a little more official. Okay, yeah, maybe don't lie to a government website. You never know when that'll randomly come back to bite you in the ass. But whose government are we talking here? If it's not your government, maybe we don't care. October 12th, at me Detective Agency. Hello? Well, well. How lovely it is to see you again, my dear. I assume this is him. Yeah. Welcome to my abode. Relax and soak up the atmosphere. We're actually kind of... Shh! Silence! Precisely as I expected. What is? Zari! The truth has once again been elegantly revealed to me. A lawyer and a spirit medium. Am I correct? I think we've already been through this. Ha! So my estimation was correct. Zari! How truly elegant. Now then, what can I do for you? Well, first of all, you can take it down several fucking notches. Ah! There's a cold breeze coming from this hearth. It seems you've fallen for my little deception. You see, this fireplace conceals a rather unexpected device. Yes, the high-tech air conditioner. Why would you put an air conditioner in there? In the summer, it acts as an air conditioner, and in the winter, it's a heater. Clever. That's true. My machine over there, in the summer it acts as an air conditioner, in the winter it acts as a heater. Unfortunately, as of early this year, in the winter it now acts as a heater, and in the summer it acts as a broken pile of incredibly loud shit. Ah, so the music in this room is coming from here. Look at Me Elegy, composed by Look at Me. This lovely device is called a gramophone. In days of yore, people listened to music on them. Ah, that's just what I thought. I told you so, Nick. That's quite a large portrait of yourself you have there. Yes, I wanted it to say to everyone who saw it, look at me! Look at me! You know, I think he just said the same thing twice. With a model so fine, I knew the portrait would also be aesthetically pleasing. That's nice. That it? That's it. Just mine crypto and turn your PC into an RGB space heater. No! Also, my air conditioner is the problem. It's keeping cool that's the problem. Getting things warm is fine. Like I said, this thing works as a heater. It doesn't make any noise, it doesn't struggle, but whatever, some component that is only used when it's air conditioning is broken. You mentioned before that you were on guard duty all alone last night. Precisely. This is my 5th encounter with my arch-enemy. I refuse to allow anyone to interfere with the rightful pursuit of my prey. I heard you've been after Master Mask since his very first theft? Yes, my dear. I see you've done your homework. In his very first heist, that vile thief pilfered the famous jewel, the Tear of Imanon. I first encountered him in the museum's sacred hall. The crime scene itself. So that's why you were hired as security for the treasure exhibit? I'm pretty sure he said that Adrian Andrews hired him. Yes, I borrowed some equipment from Lordly Taylor and set the perfect trap. You must mean the security camera. But I thought you were watching the area yourself, too. So how did Mask Damask manage to steal the urn? Well, that's the million-dollar question. What is Damask's modus operandi? Mr. Atme, did you know about the sacred urn? I'm interested in only one thing, my dear, and that is Mask Star Damask. Sacred urn. Psst, that has nothing to do with this case. But wasn't that what Mask Damask stole that time? I am a hunter, sir. The urn was nothing more than a lure to catch my prey. Do you yourselves remember? The shape of the individual peanuts you throw to pigeons? I don't think I like this guy's attitude, Nick. Well, anyway, it looks like he doesn't know about the urn. There's something that's kind of bothering me. Please, my dear, ask me anything you like. After all, we are but seekers, wandering alone in the dark, searching low and high. Well, I was wondering how Mask Damask managed to steal the urn. I mean, isn't it strange that you don't seem to know? Yeah, now that you mention it, it is strange. After all, you were on guard that night at the scene of the crime. Unless you were sound asleep, you should have at least seen Mask Damask. Oh, shit! Oh, it's a little baby lock. What the? It's a psych lock. One second. Yeah, this is the tutorial lock. Basically, they always start us off slow. And we haven't had a psych lock in this game yet. Psych lock? Hey, Nick, what is this psych lock thing? Why don't you know? No, it was kind of a Pearl thing, wasn't it? Yeah, because she was barely in case 2 and 4. But how did she miss it in case 3? Well, your Magatama lets me see when people are keeping secrets. By breaking their mental locks, I can find out what those secrets are. What? This Magatama has that kind of power? Maya, you're the one who gave me this Magatama last year. Well, it's true that this Magatama is a prized Fey family heirloom, but Pearly was the one that actually imbued it with spiritual powers, right? That's why I don't really know much about what it can do. This is the woman that's going to take over the Korean channeling school someday? So how do you do it? How do you break the psych lock thing? Well, you present the Magatama to the person with the secret. Cool! I can't wait to see it in action. Come on, try it out! Oh boy, I think the future master still needs to learn how to be patient. That's true, yeah, Maya's not good at thinking. Yeah, well done, Dietrich. Let's just do the presentation list to at me first. Start with the people. That's pretty amazing the way you were able to tell what I do for a living. Oh, it's elementary, my dear, right? Elementary. If you're really interested, the first clue was the hair. It shows you're prepared to take on an attack, such as from a criminal, for example. From your clothes, I knew you weren't a policeman, so I deduced you were a lawyer. After a combination of cold logic and intuition, sorry, only the truth remains. Wow, impressive. Or maybe he just took a look at the attorney's badge and your lapel, genius. This woman, she's a true beauty. You don't say. I would be honored if you would introduce her to me. I assure you, sir lawyer, that my interest is strictly professional. Ew, this guy's even creepier than I thought. I assure you, my dear, all ace detectives are perfect gentlemen. So how did you know I was a spirit medium? Oh, that was child's play. First, your hair. It's not of the type one sees every day, both rare and enchanting, almost otherworldly. I thought it likely that you were either a fortune teller or a spirit medium, but I didn't quite detect the wisdom one usually sees in a fortune teller, and so, sorry, that left only one possibility. Well, they also have a bio about me on the treasure exhibit poster. What about this person here, Detective Atney? Something wrong? Did the cat get your tongue or something? That photo leaves me with a distinctly indistinct feeling. In this case, I'm afraid my perspicacity has been left wanting. I think he's trying to say that this is the default answer and he doesn't have any information for Pearl. Ah, the charming young lady responsible for security, Ms. Adrian Andrews. Huh? You know her? Yes, well, I should. She was the person who hired me for this job. A very intelligent woman. After all, she hired Detective Luke at me, did she not? I'm not entirely convinced that was an intelligent move on her part. Oh. Him. Yes, well, I saw him earlier. That wretched detective has let the thief slip through his fingers every single time. Wretched, huh? Now that I think about it, I wonder if they aren't working together. Huh? If you ask me, look at me, I believe the two of them are co-conspirators. If Detective Gumshoe heard that, he'd probably cry. He is a surprisingly sensitive guy. This will surely be Damask's final heist. Last time I came close and managed to retrieve the stolen treasure. Mark my words, this criminal of humanity will be found guilty in due time. And then look at me, ace detective, will dance with joy. I have no clue what you're blabbering about, but I guess I'll find out soon. Probably nowhere good, Bazza, but I don't care how they win, so long as they fucking do. Well, so long as the Liberals lose. This person is Svari. What does that mean? Is that even a word? Hang on. Yeah, of course, you look it up and you immediately get Luke at me. WA has had a 10% swing to Labour and the Libs have lost 5 to 6 seats. Yeah, I haven't looked at the map lately. I mean, I haven't looked since I started. How is it looking now, actually? Forgive me, I'm just looking up Australian election stuff again because I'm in love with it. So how many seats have the Greens won at this point? Have they won 3? It says they've won 2, but there's probably another that's, like, pretty solid. Probably 4? Fuck me dead! That is incredible. And again, they don't usually get more than 1. The revolution begins. Seat by seat. I don't really talk about what electorate I'm in, and I don't intend to, but, what I will say is that the result of mine tends to be fairly predictable. So I tend not to get excited every 3 years. Yeah, like they're winning them from Labour, like that's how it doesn't bottom line matter as much to the overall result, but it's still good to see. And that doesn't help the Libs. Anyway, this person is Svari, a great ace detective. Am I correct? But I was the one asking you. This photo simply isn't enough information. I'm afraid I cannot be absolutely certain. But the intelligence in those eyes indicates a man of deep wisdom and insight. Stop messing around, Nick. Just ask him already. But this guy is scary. This man surrendered to the police, admitting that he was Mask's star Damask. Maybe so, but I'm not convinced that he's really behind the thefts. He is. He sounds pretty sure. Just look at his forehead. It's all in the shape of his mouth and eyes. This is the classic face of a thief. It is unmistakable. Is there anything that isn't unmistakable to you? What about this person here, Detective Atme? Nothing. Nothing from Desiree Delight. Only from Ron. Okay, well. It's, I'm sorry I can't be more helpful, but I have no interest save that of finding evidence against my arch-rival. Nah, it's okay. Oops. I think I've seen that, actually. Piddling evidence hog. Luke Atme's catchphrase at one point during the translation process was "schwing," but I changed it to "zvari" because I felt it was catchy and eccentric and a lot of fun to say. The word means nothing. The original Japanese word "zuvari" is not exactly real either, but it's based on the word "zubari," which is kind of used in the same way as "bam," like when you're trying to sell people something. Interesting. But is it going to be a hung parliament, or are Labour going to get the 76? Because they were talking about a hung parliament, but I think they've changed that, and they're like, no, Labour will get their 76. I mean, ideally, you don't want them to get their 76 if you're lefty. You want them to get like just under the necessary amount to accomplish anything, and then have the Greens with a big enough chunk of government to be required for all of the decisions. That's what you want. Then things get interesting for 3 years. Anyway, let's... He doesn't seem to have anything interesting to say on the evidence, so let's just Magatama him. Mask to masks. Mask to mask. Mask to masks VO. VO? MO. Not Mask to masks voiceover, that would be me. At least unofficially. Right. I have gotten through that tongue twister. Detective Atme, you were standing guard at the scene of the crime. There's no way you didn't see Mask to Mask commit the crime. Well now, I can hardly see why you're so positive about that. Yes, indeed, I was guarding the warehouse, that much is true. But I can tell you for certain that not a single person passed through that door. I'm not sure why, but this Atme guy is lying through his teeth. I know, I'll show him some proof. Breaking new woos hit you with the Sco-Wo-Mo-Wo tweet. Detective Atme, I have proof that someone went through that door. The camera dialed, right? Camera went off.
Take that!
There was a security camera set up at the scene of the crime. It should have automatically taken a photo of anyone that went through that door. Precisely. I hope you don't mind, but we've already gotten our hands on the camera data. As you can see, the camera went off exactly once last night. What? But my monocle didn't catch anyone in its flash. It must be some kind of computer malfunction. It must be. Maybe it was your monocle that malfunctioned. What? Are you saying that I didn't do my duty properly? Detective Atme, you must have seen the thief last night. The question is, why are you trying to hide it? If he's hiding it, there must be some reason. Some reason that he desperately wants to keep hidden. And I've got just the piece of evidence that should prove it. Okay, let's suppose you didn't manage to see Mask to Mask. In that case, the reason you didn't at that time was because you were... You think he fell asleep? I don't think we can prove that. We don't have anything that can prove that he took a nap there. We don't have records of someone using the bathroom. Unconscious means he was bested. Fast asleep means incompetent. We have to think about it in the terms of they're going to ask us for a piece of evidence after this. What do we have that could support one of these three conclusions? Now the urn, that's gone. Can't see our evidence list right now, but yeah, Demon Dragon's onto it. We have the sword thing from the statue that's been dented as though it was used to whack somebody. I'm afraid that making a guess is not enough. Time to put your money where your mouth is. Show me your evidence. Detective Atme. You were knocked unconscious by the thief, weren't you? Ha ha! Surely you must be joking. You think that I, look at me, could be knocked unconscious so easily? This sword proves it. That's... Before the theft, this sword was in the hand of the statue of Amy Faye. Furthermore, at that time, it was not bent. There's only one explanation. You were struck on the head and knocked unconscious by this sword. Well, Detective, how about it? I'm impressed. You truly are an ace attorney. I cannot deny that there may be a small hint of truth in what you say. So you were knocked out when the thief first clobbered you? Clobber? What an ugly way of saying it, but I suppose you could put it that way. The coward struck at the precise moment that I turned to look at the computer. So you never noticed that the thief had entered the warehouse? No. The coward must have wormed his way in through somewhere besides the door. Perhaps the air ducts or the sewer pipes. Then my arch-nemesis struck me on the head from behind with that gruesome item there. Ouch. Mr. Atme should have his poor head examined. You can say that again. How could he have underestimated the thief that badly? The shitto updated in the court record. Well, looks like we got one thing cleared up anyway. Huh? What? That Atme is the greatest ace detective in the world? No, that he never actually saw the thief. Oh, that's right. So the thief may not even be Mask to Mask. Just one moment, Sir Lawyer! The thief was unquestionably Mask to Mask. But you never actually saw him. Perhaps so. But I installed a security camera for just such a contingency. Oh. Last night, the camera went off exactly once. Behold, this is a photo of the dastardly thief taken by the security camera. That's him. Mask to Mask. Security camera photo added to the court record. The thief can be none other than the arch-criminal Mask Star Damask. After all, he has a very good reason for committing such brazen crimes. What are you talking about? So, what did you mean by he had a very good reason? Exactly that. Mr. Delight had a very good reason to dress up and commit those crimes. There should be a green envelope somewhere in his room. You'll need to go and investigate. But how would you know about that? Have you forgotten? You're speaking to the finest ace detective ever to walk on the face of this earth. The most brilliant mind since, well, ever. Look at me. Well, I guess we better go take a look just in case. Well, okay. Do you know anything about an envelope? Do you know anything like that? A weird fucker who's holding a magnifying glass like a monocle reckons that there is something in this room. I don't know if he's full of shit or just a little weird, but we're gonna look. Why the fuck is Old Bag's space outfit here? If you're hit by a metal sword so hard that you're knocked out and the sword bends, you should probably see a doctor. Is it metal? I mean, it might be plastic. Alright, green envelope. Oh, here. Hey, Nick! Remember what Detective Atme said? Exactly that. Mr. Delight had a very good reason to dress up and commit those crimes. There should be a green envelope somewhere in his room. You'll need to go and investigate. Green envelope, huh? Looks like this is it. Okay, let's have a look. If you don't want your true identity revealed to the world, come to KB Security at 1 a.m. on October 12th and bring $50,000. Well... 50,000? This is a blackmail letter. Sure looks like a major clue, all right. Written with a fountain pen, found in Ron's room. Oh, someone's at the door. I'll be right back. Won't take but a second, I promise. Oh, thank you for coming. That's so nice of you. When I see a damsel in distress, I just can't help myself. Please, come on in. I'll make some coffee. Really? Okay. I guess I'll make myself at home, pretty lady. Wait a minute. I know that voice. Ah, Nicky boy. I'm so sorry, but I got another guest. Ah! You're... Nick! It's you! And Maya, too! What a fluke! Larry! Long time no see. Not since the first game. What? You know each other? Nicky boy? Nick, do you and this girl have, you know, something going on? Something? If you think what I underestimated you, Nick. A gorgeous lady like this? And married, too! Way to go, dude! I know it. Just when things couldn't get any worse. It's time to cue in the butts. Larry Butts. Ever since grade school, he's been... not exactly a close friend, but yeah, we know each other. Hey, man, that wasn't nice! I was your very first client! We've got quite the storied history, he and I. But what we used to say still rings true. When something smells, it's usually the butts. Hey, come on now! You're embarrassing me! And in front of this pretty little thing here. So you two are old childhood friends, I see. That's so sweet. You two go ahead and catch up on old times. I'm gonna go check on my bike. Nice girl, that Desi. So how have you been, Nick? Too busy if you really want to know. Oh, Larry. What have you been up to this whole time? It's been 2 years since I heard from you. What's with those clothes? You look, well, weird. Hey, man, that's uncalled for. This is my uniform for my part-time job. But I can't believe it's been 2 years. They say time flies when you're having fun. Ha 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 ha. What's wrong? Nick, I gotta tell you. Women. I don't trust them anymore. You got dumped again? Well, you know, Bennifer, I followed her all the way to Japan 2 years ago. That's where I met the famous Caddy Tom. And my whole life changed. Bennifer? Caddy Tom? I never heard of either of them. Anyway, dude, Caddy Tom chose Hollywood over me! Can you believe it? You know, that's not a bad call, Snip. That's not a bad call. Well, actually, anyway, sounds like you had quite the adventure. Women! They're so... Oh, but you're different, Maya. You're not like the rest. Looks like he's still the same old Larry. So what are you doing here, anyway? Huh? What do you mean by that? I'm just a natural-born nice guy, that's all. Well, actually, I picked this up last night while I was working. A wallet? You say you found this last night. Yeah, it had a driver's license on it, so I figured I'd just return it myself. Okay, Ron's wallet, found by Larry at his part-time security job's company building night of the crime. Huh? Hang on. Let me see that for a minute. I know it. Desi's picture is in here. Yeah, I guess he really digs his wife, huh? Hey, Nick, it's not what you're thinking at all. No, I'm pretty sure it is. You haven't changed a bit. No way, man. I mean, she's a married woman. That's just bad news. He really is here just to check out Ms. Delight. So you said you found it at your job, right? Yeah, I'm working for a private security company as a guard. Chicks just love a guy in uniform, you know? Security guard, huh? Yeah, so that's what that uniform is about. So what time was it when you found this last night? Huh? Why are you asking that? Trying to see if I got an alibi? You're not the one on the hook for a crime this time, buddy. I guess it was around 1 in the morning on the first floor of the company building. What was Mr. Delight's wallet doing there? Well, I don't know, but the fact that that outfit of his has a KB written on it and the green envelope says, "Come to KB Security at 1 in the morning on October 12th and bring $50,000. I mean, it might have something to do with that, Phoenix. Just a thought. Anyway, there's nothing weird about that. After all, he works there. He works there? You mean Mr. Delight? Sure. Here, take a look at this. It's right there in his wallet. What's this card? Hey, it's a key card for the security company. See? It's got a serial number on it right there. There's no mistake about it. You said you're working part-time at a security company, right? That's right. But why are you making that scary face? Security company, huh? Something's not quite secure about Larry working there. Need to find out as much as I can about this key card. Dooba-dooba-dooba-doo. Dooba-dooba-dooba-doo. You're 26 years old, right? Don't you think it's about time you took a long, hard look at your life? Coming from a guy who can only brag about how many times he's been rejected? I find that kind of ironic. Hey, I remember her! That's Maya's big sister! Wow, you really do remember. Yeah, who could forget? A couple of gorgeous sisters. Hubba hubba. You hear that, Nick? Gorgeous. Oh, yeah, that's right. When I defended Larry, Mia was still alive. Wow, you're even cuter than the last time I saw you. Oh, really? Yeah, you look totally different than 2 years ago, don't you think, Nick? Maybe it's because we're always together, but she looks pretty much the same to me. Character art doesn't evolve, mate. Ah, what a cutie! Hey, Nick, so what's the deal between you and this girl? Hey, that's my cousin. Her name is Pearl Faye. Pearl, huh? Too bad. Never date two girls with the same name. That's one rule I can't break. I think the fact that she's only 9 years old would break some rule somewhere. Because he didn't actually kill anyone, Demon Dragon. Wow! Who is this? Come on, man, don't hold out on me! Forget about it. It's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to— Hey, now! I thought we were pals! I got a major thing for girls with black sleeveless shirts and glasses! How do you know that? And if they have an orange-colored memo pad, I really lose my cool! He has to be making that up. He can't really know Adrian, can he? Larry, what about this person? It's me! What the— All of a sudden he's got nothing to say? I just thought of something. What if it's actually a hot chick under that costume? Forget about it. It's a guy, trust me. Man, you're killing my buzz, dude. Boy, talk about someone who has a one-track mind. He has nothing to say about Rum Delight. You're here at his fucking house. He works with you. That Desi is one awesome lady, all right. It's been a long time since I felt this way. I think I'm really in love this time. A long time, huh? Yeah, well, except for what I feel for you, Maya. I don't think even he knows what he's saying anymore. Even you could learn a few tricks from me, Nick. Yeah, like what? Look at my hair, for example. It points up straight, right? But your hair, on the other hand, points backwards. Right now, it's not as creepy as it would have been in Game 1 when they were 23 and 17, Sam. But I think you skipped over the Pearl part. If you're asking about Maya, you didn't say anything in response to the Pearl part. So maybe you were just sitting there quietly horrified, but comparatively, this is nothing. That's no good at all, man! It's defeatist! You gotta aim high! For the stars! I can't find a counter-argument to that. What about this? Anything come to mind? Listen, I'm a security guard. I'm not here to sell you juicy bits of info and chew the fat, man. Funny, you had no qualms about selling samurai dogs just 2 years ago. Larry, this is one of the treasures from Karain Village. Be serious, Nick! I couldn't care less about mystic mumbo-jumbo stuff. Of course, Maya is a different story. Talk about your mixed messages. Larry has nothing to say. Hey Larry, what about this? What? If you got something to say, then say it already. Huh? A blackmail letter? Do you know anything about this? What? I don't know anything about Alexis, and that's the truth! Huh? What? I can't believe you do this to me! I thought you were my friend! $50,000? I don't have that kind of money! No, you don't understand. This blackmail letter was sent to Ron Delight. Phew! Man, you scared me. I almost had a heart attack, you idiot! Wait, I'm the idiot? Man, I was totally confused because it says KB Security right in the envelope. Yeah, so what? That's where I got a part-time job, at KB Security. Can you not read the fucking letters? I'm a fucking boob. KB Security. What? Sounds like I should really find out some more about this KB Security company. Did we really need to go through that? To learn this? We can see it. On this, too! So you're sure about this keycard? Yep, that's the keycard we use at the building I work in. According to the serial number, this one is for the CEO's office. You need it to get into that room, and every time you use the card, it leaves a record. It leaves a record? Yeah, it tells you exactly who entered the room and when. Larry, I need that data. Whoa, slow down, man. Sorry, but that data was off limits to outsiders. If I lost this job, I'd never have a chance with Desi. It's times like these when I wish lawyers weren't so powerless. Why did Ron have the CEO's card? You didn't touch anything in the wallet, did you? Hey, man, be serious! You know what I was interested in. If Mask to Mask doesn't look out, he's gonna be the victim of a robbery himself. KB Security, the company in the blackmail letter. You know about it? That's where I work, yeah. In fact, I'm on the job right now. Huh? So what are you doing here, then? Well, the boss is away right now, and you know what mice do when the cat's away. Yes. Anyway, how far away is this company? Let me see. About 30 minutes by car, I guess. Well, if you fly down the road, anyway. Well, this apartment building is pretty close to Lordly Taylor, right? And it would take roughly an hour to go from here to KB Security and back. If Rhonda Light was at KB Security when the robbery occurred, then... Whoa. Then he couldn't have stolen the sacred urn. Hey, Nick, your phone! Hello? Is this the Wright residence? Ah, Pearls, where are you? I thought I'd go to Lordly Taylor to try to find some more clues, but I'm afraid I've gotten lost. What? Give me that phone, Nick. Pearly, where are you right now? I was walking along and I found myself in front of that person's office. That person? Who? That person who doesn't act his age, and always says Zvari when he's excited. Luke Atney, ace detective. Okay, stay right there. We're coming to get you. Alright, I'm a little scared. Alright, let's go, Maya. Wait a second, Nick! What? That phone call just now. Sounded like a real cutie. Another one of your, special friends? Say goodbye to Mrs. Delight for me, would you, Larry? I think the idea here is that Larry can't actually see Pearl. But... Goodbye, Larry. I'm not defending it, I'm just trying to figure it the fuck out. Like, it's a very, very shit reason. Anyway, at me detective agency. Come at me, bro.
Ah, Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya, Pearly. I never thought I'd see the two of you again.
So is Mr. Ace Detective out of the office?
Yes, when I arrived here, there wasn't a single soul in sight.
How'd you get in, then? Say, Nick, doesn't it look like something's changed since we were here last? Now that you mention it. Gee, could it be the big bag sitting in the middle of the table? This bag. I'm sure it wasn't here before.
It looks quite full. I wonder what could be in here.
Hey, Nick, come on, open it up. Hey, wait a minute, we can't just open his private property.
Don't be such a fuddy-duddy. This is an important investigation.
That's true. And truth be told, I have to admit I am kind of curious.
Well, what's in there?
Hang on a sec. I'm taking it out now. Whatever it is, it feels kind of hard and smooth. Well, hello there!
Eek! He's here!
What are you doing, Sir Lawyer? I'm shocked to see a servant of the court ignoring the law so flagrantly. Flagrantly. I'm really sorry. Maya made me do it.
Nick, I can't believe you.
A gentleman never uses a lady as an excuse for his own poor behavior. The real question is, can you afford to waste time lollygagging about here? What do you mean by that? Perhaps I should make myself more clear. Tomorrow's trial. Zvari. Shall we say the figurative Sir William will be dropping his panties before lunchtime?
Wow, Nick. Sounds like it's gonna be really exciting.
What the fuck does that mean, Luke?
So what's in there, Nick? What's in the bag?
Come on, what's in the bag? The way Atme barged in like that, I never actually got a chance to look.
I know. I thought I was going to collapse of shock, too.
From the feel of it, it was something hard. What's going to happen at the trial tomorrow that's so dramatic? Do you know what your biggest mistake so far has been, Sir Lawyer? It was becoming a lawyer in the first place.
That certainly does sound like a big mistake, Mr. Nick.
Tomorrow will be a day to remember. I, Luke Atme, will take the stand. And then, Svari! My testimony will prove to be the undoing of the lot of you. Yes, all of you. I will unmask you as the thief's co-conspirators.
Conspirators?
You're quick on the defensive, I see. However, it is not I that is your greatest enemy. There is a far more dangerous threat that you will face during the trial.
What are you talking about?
Sir Lawyer, if you truly are who you say, I'm sure you've heard of him. His name. Wait for it. is Godot? Godot. You have taken a step down the path of foolishness. To try to defend a career criminal who deserves nothing less than the death penalty.
Hey! Last time I checked, no one knows for sure Mr. Delight really is Damask.
My dear lady, times may change, but people sadly do not. Well, you will understand this when you are more mature.
Who is this Godot person?
It's not surprising that a spirit medium has not heard the name Godot, the prosecutor whose equal cannot be found in this country but in heaven. Godot, a legend or a myth, men pin a lifetime of hopes on the chance to simply meet him.
Prosecutor Godot. But the best prosecutor in the country isn't Godot, it's Mr. Edgeworth. Isn't that right, Nick?
It's no surprise that a spirit medium such as yourself would know nothing of this. But Ace Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth is currently travelling abroad.
Huh?
In fact, it was Mr. Edgeworth who acknowledged Godot as the best in this country.
You agree with that?
Most certainly. In fact, you could call him the Luke Atme of the prosecutor's office.
Well, that's good to hear. The prosecution has a fighting chance tomorrow. Mr. Nick, is this Godot really that strong?
I seem to remember hearing about someone like that. Not surprising. Some people spend their entire lives idly waiting for his appearance. Fuck you. It was my joke. Looks like we're done investigating for the day. Sir Lawyer. The stage has been set and all the pieces are finally in place. All that remains now is for the dance to begin. I mean, I assume someone sitting here knows what that is a reference to, right? A new prosecutor, an ace detective, and a thief. This will be one tough trial. The name Godot is taken from a play called Waiting for Godot, which is a play in which two men wait, I think, outside a bus stop for a friend of theirs who never shows up. How old is it, actually? It might be too old for bus stops. No, it's from 1953. They meet by a tree. Not a bus stop, it's by a tree. The important information is that there is no Godot. So the question is there going to be a prosecutor tomorrow? And is he going to show up on time? And I have to wonder whether that line from Atme was an insert for the English localization. Because the name Godot is a reference to the play, but was that his name in the Japanese version? I don't know. I mean, don't look it up if you don't know the game, because any Googlings of Ace Attorney stuff could lead you to spoilers you don't want, but I don't know. October 13, 9:36 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 4.
Hey, Nick!
What is it? Is something wrong?
Nah, but did you see all the people here? It's crazy. Oh, so check out the mask-to-mask glossy I bought.
You bought this where?
From the little tents in front of the courthouse. They have all sorts of things for sale.
You know I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. A publicity photo. Do master thieves need publicity photos? Come on! I'm guilty! Throw the book at me!
Who's screaming like that? Oh, Mr. Wright. You made it.
Yeah, I did. But it doesn't look like things are gonna get any less ugly for you. Because I did it! I'm the criminal! Me! Me! Me!
Ah, he did it again.
I sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor. I admit it! But you don't have the sacred urn, right?
Well, that's true, but that doesn't mean that I didn't commit the crime.
Normally when I say, of course you didn't, I'm being sarcastic, but you, yikes!
Anyway, I admit that I'm guilty.
So make sure they give me a guilty verdict, please! Oh, there you are, Ronnie. Bonjour, sweetie.
Oh, Desi, honey. Bonjour.
Well, actually, I don't really know why I should be speaking French to you at a time like this. Leave it all to me, Ronnie. I swear I'll protect you.
Well, you see, actually, the thief is me.
Can I tell you something, Nicky boy? I can guarantee that my Ronnie is innocent. If he's declared guilty, I'll be ever so cross with you. So why are you smiling when you say it? Well, if you'll excuse me, I got some errands I need to take care of. I'm counting on you, Nicky boy. Good luck. To be honest, I really don't know whether Ron is mask to mask or not. But there's only one thing I am sure of. He doesn't have the sacred urn right now. Mr. Delight, it's time for you to enter the courtroom. For the time being, I guess I'll have to trust Desiree. October 13, 10 a.m., District Court. Courtroom number 6. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. The defense is ready, Your Honor. What about the prosecution? Are you prepared to... What a stupid question. What did you say? Fine. Let me ask you then, Your Honor. Are you ready? Are you ready to pass judgment? No, I'm not. I will pass judgment after I hear arguments from both sides. Well, if you're not ready yourself, you shouldn't expect others to be. That's a rule to live by. Who are you? I am Godot. Legendary prosecutor. I've never lost a case.
He's the one that Detective Atlee was talking about.
Yes, your reputation precedes you. What kind of cases have you dealt with so far? Ha! None. What did you say? I've never prosecuted a case before. Never? But you said you've never lost before. Exactly. I've never lost. I've never won before either. Quite arrogant for a beginner, aren't you? Even the mightiest of redwoods begin their lives as mere saplings. Yes, but a mask in a court of law? Ha! Don't you know anything? No matter the man, we all wear masks. Either on our faces or over our hearts. This guy is the real deal, all right, Nick. Why does it seem like all prosecutors are the real deal? So, we finally meet. Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Huh? Nick? Is he a friend of yours?
No, I don't have any friends that call me Trite. His Just who is this masked man? I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. Well then, Prosecutor Gobo. It's not Gobo. It's Godot, Your Honor. In any case, please give your opening statement. Opening statement? Those things are not fit for even dogs to consume. I have only one thing to say before we start. To you, Mr. Wright. What is it? Are you familiar with the saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link? I wonder how much you can withstand before you and your case break in two. Well then, let's hear from the first witness. My name is... No one has asked for your name, witness. But... The important thing is what you know. That's all. Start talking. We're listening. Yes, sir. All right, witness. First, let's hear about what you know about the thief that stole the urn. Yes, sir. Master Mask is a master thief that first started his crime spree 6 months ago. He's so confident that he sends his calling card before he even commits the crime. This was his 5th heist, and as usual, he sent a card on to Lordly Taylor. His pattern is to always go after the most precious art pieces only. That's why we're sure it was Master Mask, sir. It fits his MO to a T. So then the actual identity of this masked mask is... Mr. Godot, what are you... We're in the middle of a trial here, Mr. Godot. Blacker than a moonless night. Hotter and more bitter than hell itself. That is coffee. I'm sure you can grant me at least this much, Your Honor. Oh, please. Proceed. Very well. It's only coffee, after all.
What? You can't be letting him slide this early in the trial.
Proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Well, Nick, what are you going to do?
As long as they haven't brought up Mr. Delight's identity, all we can do is show that it wasn't Mask to Mask who stole the urn. Master Mask is a master thief that first started his crime spree 6 months ago. Have you been involved in the investigation from the beginning? Yep. Nobody knows about the thief more than me, pal. It's true. I'm a Zvari, author on thieves.
An author? He's written books about thieves?
I think he probably meant to say authority. The fact that this guy can slip through even my fingers shows how good he is, pal. It's easy when those fingers happen to be butterfingers. So nobody knows more about the thief than you, huh? You got it, pal. Except maybe for the thief's mom, that is.
But isn't there someone who knows even more about him than the police?
You don't mean Detective Zvari, do you? Who is this person? Zvari? He sounds German. His name is Luke Atme, sir. I guess I shouldn't have made up such a silly name for him.
What the heck? I guess he's not all that famous after all.
Anyway, it's true that he did manage to retrieve the last item the thief stole. Oh, I see. It seems you're not the expert you claim to be. Yeah, it looks like the thief is toying with me even now. He's so confident that he sends his calling card before he even commits the crime.
Have you seen all of these so-called calling cards?
Of course I have. Except, the person in charge of the treasure exhibit never brought their card to the police. So I didn't see this one until after the crime occurred.
That's because Detective Atmey stopped Mrs. Andrews from taking it to the police.
Was the calling card that Lordly Taylor received authentic? Well, all the cards have one common identifying feature, but we're not releasing that information to the general public. But you're absolutely certain that this card is real.
Gumshoe can't say it out loud, but I bet he's talking about Master Mask's emblem.
This was his fifth heist, and as usual he sent a card on to Lordly Taylor. His fifth heist. And your fifth screw-up, huh? Objection, pal! That ain't fair! Maybe you could say I screwed up 4 times, but this last time wasn't my fault. I didn't know about the calling card this time.
You of all people shouldn't be chuckling about this, Detective Gumshoe.
I just want everyone here in the courtroom to know something. If you ever get a calling card from this guy, don't call some stupid private eye. Call your local police right away. Got me?
Wow, looks like he's really got it in for Detective Atmey.
His pattern is to always go after only the most precious art pieces.
Art pieces? Like what, for example?
Well, his first target was the famous Tear of Amenon. What's that? Some kind of especially salty teardrop? No, sir, it's a blue diamond. A single rare diamond. Next was the crown of Bangora. You know, that thing you put on your head. After that was the left hand of Hades, and then the portrait of Megina, sir. Detective Atmey retrieved the portrait of Megina and returned it to the museum.
And the target of his fifth and last robbery was the sacred urn, right?
But isn't it difficult for him to dispose of such famous art pieces? Well, we assume he must have some underworld connections.
Somehow Mr. Delight doesn't look the type. Yeah, he's a little too sunny to be hanging out in the underworld.
That's why we're sure it was Master Mask, sir. It fits his MO to a T.
What do you mean when you say it fits his MO to a T?
I was thinking of asking the same thing myself. I wish you would listen a little more closely, pal. First of all, there's the calling card. We're 100% certain it's authentic. Then there's the fact that he seemed to know all about the security system. And finally, his target was an art piece. These are all part of the thief's modus operandi. And so, since this robbery seems to fit all those conditions? That's right! It means that Master Mask is behind it.
Nick, it definitely looks like it was Master Mask who stole the urn. But there's no real evidence either way as to whether Ron Delight is Master Mask. But... Also, the urn hasn't turned up yet, let alone in connection to Mr. Delight himself. So even though we know it was Master Mask that did it, maybe for the time being I should try to show it wasn't Master Mask that did it.
Okay. His pattern is to always go after only the most precious art pieces. It was his fifth heist and he sent a card. He sends his card before he commits the crime. What do we have that says this is untrue? Okay, so they did update this. Supposedly priceless, but it has no monetary value. Only goes after the most precious stuff. That could be considered a contradiction. Let's see. Once again, as a hint, when you present something, in a lot of cases, not all, but in a lot of cases in trial, when you present something, if it's the correct item, the music cuts out. It cuts out because they change the music to something that sounds successful after a short break. If you fail, though, the music continues. Can I ask you a little something, Detective Gumshoe? Just hearing the little in that question is making me nervous. You said that he always goes after the most precious art pieces, right? That's right, pal.
But there's one problem. That's not what he did in this case. The supposedly priceless urn doesn't exactly rise to the level of precious art.
What do you mean?
Nick, how can you say such a terrible thing? No, I mean from a financial point of view. I mean, it wouldn't fetch a good price.
Well, Prosecutor Godot, what is the value of that urn? The appraisers I spoke to said they couldn't attach a price to it. And I mean that in the worst sense.
So in other words, it was not the kind of item that Mask to Mask would normally go after.
If I understand you correctly, Mr. Wright...
Which is very hard to do because I'm full of a lot of shit.
You're saying that the theft of the sacred urn was not the work of Mask to Mask?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Actually, all I did was point out the contradiction. The argument made itself, but...
Well, first of all, we need to get this issue cleared up. Was this last robbery the work of Mask to Mask or not? What do you have to say about this, Mr. Godot? This coffee here, I call it it's my own special blend. I call it Godot 107. I'm trying to decide whether to cut down on the acidity or the bitterness. That's the only thing I've got on my mind right now, Mr. Trite.
But what?
If you're really a man, you should clean up your own mess.
Sorry, but I don't get what you mean.
If you're saying it wasn't Mask to Mask that stole that urn, then it must be someone imitating Mask to Mask's methods. A fake.
A fake to Mask? Fake to Mask? That sounds so ridiculous. But I like it.
Now, before I decide on my coffee, I believe some proof is in order, Mr. Trite. Proof that the person who appeared at Lordly Taylor that night was actually a fake. Though I don't approve of Mr. Godot's behavior, his point is valid. Mr. Wright, we're waiting.
Looks like I'm gonna have to prove it. I need proof that the person at Lordly Taylor that night was in fact fake to Mask. What do we have?
This is what he looks like, with a sack of goodies over his shoulder.
That's just a photo of the urn. That's a photo of who was seen breaking in. Is there anything fake about this Mask to Mask? He hasn't got this thing in the middle. He's not wearing the brooch. What would fit into that box? I think the urn might. Oh. What would fit into that? It's not a portrait or a crowd or a jewel. Well, this is a publicity photo. It's probably not a photo of him with a stolen item that's actually been taken. Still, I kind of want to push this missing thing in the middle, so...
Music didn't change. The proof is right here. Oh. Yes, it doesn't always work. This looks like a photo taken by a security camera. But if you look closely, you'll notice something peculiar about it. Ah. Well then, why don't you go ahead and show us what it is? Go on. Use this pointer and show us where the problem is.
Take that!
It's right here, of course. You mean mask to mask? I have here a piece of reference I would like the court to take a look at. Isn't that the publicity photo I bought this morning? The problem I have is with the security camera photo is the brooch on Damask's chest. A breach? Here? Bailiff, get my steed! We need to retreat at once! A brooch, Your Honor. It's a sort of clasp for holding your cape on. A clasp, eh? Ah, I see now. But the mask in the security camera photo. Ah! He has no brooch! That brooch is the same as the emblem on Damask's calling card and serves as his symbol. But the thief that broke into Lordly Taylor wasn't wearing a brooch. In other words, this mask Damask is a fake. I've been fooled again! Order! It's true. Undeniably true. Detective Gumshoe, how could you have overlooked this? I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how I... Hey now. If you're gonna have a pity party, invite me too. Mr. Godot, you deserve some blame in this too. How could you have overlooked such a large brooch? Ha! The brooch you're talking about. Do you mean this? That's Master Mask's brooch. Where did you find it? Well, I've always had a good nose for evidence. I got it at the crime scene. It was hidden in the shadow of a big female Buddha statue. Buddha statue? You must mean the Amy Faye statue. Why didn't you tell me about that, sir? I always put evidence away in my pocket. After all, it's the safest place for crucial evidence. Yeah, that's crime. This guy is one cool customer. It's a little early to be shaken up, isn't it, little lady? That friend of yours left pretty little hickeys on there too. Hickeys? Figuratively speaking, of course. I'm referring to Ron Delight's fingerprints. What? What? The defendant's fingerprints are on the brooch? Order! Order in the court! Mr. Godot, let's see that brooch. I've grown attached to my metallic friend here. Take good care of her. It appears to have been torn off some clothing. There's a little bit of cloth left on the back. Obviously, there must have been a big struggle that night at the crime scene. Uh-oh. Phoenix, we have a problem. Ah. You mess with Godot. And you get burned. He's been playing me like a violin. Well, Judge, I'm about ready to call my next witness. Huh? You're done with me? But I haven't proved anything yet. You've proven your own incompetence, that's good enough. That doesn't sound good at all. Bailiff, bring the next witness into the courtroom. Finally, time for the ace detective to make his appearance, huh? One second is one drip of the coffee pot. Let's hurry it up. Shh! Silence! Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What's clear? Svari, the truth has once again been elegantly revealed to me. What we have here is a judge and a prosecutor. A coffee maniac at that. Am I correct?
Well, yes, that's right. Not bad. Not bad at all. You're the first person that's ever been able to penetrate my secret veil.
Well, Sir Prosecutor, let me introduce myself. My name is Luke Atme, ace detective and rising star illuminating the heavens.
Boy, these two make a perfect pair. They'd either be best friends or they'd tear each other's heads off.
I've heard that on the night of the crime you were all alone on security detail. You have heard correctly. My specially made monocle is worth more than 100 Detective Gumshoes. If Detective Gumshoe was worth anything, that is.
Why was this guy by himself anyway? That's a fascinating question, isn't it? There must be some reason. I'm sure of it.
Well then, tell us what this special monocle of yours witnessed.
What I witnessed.
It was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, just after the date changed. That's when my nemesis, the infamous Mask Star Damask, dancingly descended upon me. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble head. Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When I awoke, he was gone. 30 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police.
So you didn't get a clear look at the criminal?
My specially made monocle never misses a thing. However, that is limited to things that fall within my own visual range. But of course, that's only natural.
I fail to see why the witness seems so proud of his performance that evening.
Well, Sir Old-Timer, let me explain. We are not speaking of any ordinary thief, but of the king of thieves, the great Masked Star Damask, my archenemy. That is what my instincts and my years of experience tell me.
Very well, proceed with the cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
It was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, just after the date changed.
So that'd be 1 o'clock in the morning of the 12th, correct?
That's an impressive deduction, Sir Lawyer.
You were on security duty that night. Where exactly were you at the time?
A penetrating question. I was in the basement warehouse, near the computer.
Near the computer, huh? So then you weren't trying to remain hidden, I take it?
Up to this point, I have tried to remain concealed while waiting for the thief.
Yeah, he said the same thing yesterday, too. Gumshoe also said that they've never spotted the thief at the crime scenes before.
Precisely. That is precisely why I chose not to hide last night. I knew that by not concealing myself, I would be putting pressure on the thief.
Looks like the thief was the one applying pressure. On your pigeony head, that is.
In any case, that's when my nemesis, the infamous Mask Star Damask, dancingly descended upon me.
Dancingly descended? From where exactly?
Well, from the entrance, I suppose. Where else?
So in actuality, he neither danced nor descended. Someone please save me. So how is it that you didn't notice the thief?
My eyes were looking for the thief's shadow, while my ears listened for his footfalls. But even so, the dastardly criminal managed to sneak up on me. It can only be due to his subtly camouflaged cape and soft-soled shoes.
I hereby W. Ace Dunce.
Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble head. Marvel at the value of my testimony. I was hit in the head and saw nothing. Yeah. You didn't see the criminal's face when that happened? Well, that's the difficult part. How should I put it? I saw his mask. That is all that I can recall. I just noticed that my camera was in the wrong spot. Should be here. Get out of the way of the dialogue. That's not very solid as far as testimony goes. However, fortunately I had my third monocle, the security camera, at the ready. It captured his image perfectly. This should be sufficient, I believe. Well, as long as this photo is authentic, I don't see a problem here. Well, Mr. Godot, do you have a problem with the photo? Good. Then let's continue with the testimony. Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When I awoke, he was gone. Attacked and knocked unconscious, and you weren't able to do a thing? That's certainly some very impressive detective work. Well, Sir Lawyer, have you ever been suddenly struck on the head? Huh? Well, actually, yes. By a fire extinguisher. And what happened? I was knocked out. And you lost your memory, too. You see, you have no right to look down on me then, do you? The only reason I didn't lose my memory was because I have more brains to begin with. He may have brains, but the wiring to the self-reflection part seems to be severed. In any case, that was how I was knocked senseless. And then, 30 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police. About this 30 minutes. My silver cord was loosened and my soul fled to the golden halls of Elysium. As usual, I have no idea what this guy is saying. I think he's saying that he was out cold. So, what happened during those 30 minutes? No one can say, Your Honor. That span of time has truly vanished into the ether. Just what is he going on about? There's something suspicious about Detective Atme. How could he not have noticed when the thief came in? Also, he said he was knocked unconscious before he could fight back. But that can't be right, it contradicts the evidence. Huh? Which piece? The real question is, why would he tell such an obvious lie? Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. We've established the brooch was torn off of Master Mask's clothes, which implies that he had a fight with someone. Yeah, exactly. Mr. Atme. Could you take a look at this with that special monocle of yours? Aha! This belongs to the criminal mastermind, my arch-nemesis, Mask Star Damask. It is, in point of fact, Mask Star Damask's brooch. It was found on the floor of the basement warehouse. I wonder how that happened. Elementary, my dear lawyer. Obviously it wasn't glued on well enough. Not quite. It clearly shows signs of having been ripped off a piece of clothing. Ripped off? Ah! We can only deduce that the thief struggled with someone that night. That's the only thing I can think of. And there's only one person that was in a position to have been in a struggle with the thief. The only person that was on security duty that night. You, Detective Atme. Detective Atme, you must have fought with the thief that night. So why did you lie in your testimony to the court? Witness, giving false testimony is a serious crime. No. Wait just a moment, Sir Old-Timer. Don't talk to me like I'm living in a nursing home. I just remembered, Your Honor. I was just confused because I've been dealing with so many cases lately. The true measure of a man is in the amount of work he does. That's what I always say. Nick, you can only handle one case at a time. Isn't that right? You talk too much. Witness, so are you now saying that you and the thief fought? Hold on. That's quite enough, Your Honor. Excuse me? Save the big questions for the testimony. That's one of my rules. Indeed, I understand. I look at me, agree completely. Indeed, it is true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment. However, look at me cannot be so easily discombobulated. Unfortunately, the thief grabbed a weapon from the side and rendered me senseless. A true gentleman fights only with his fists, but they were not enough. His first blow struck true. Bam! And that's all she wrote. Perjury is a serious crime that every witness besides Gumshoe always commits, and we never prosecute it. So in the end, you did catch a glimpse of Mask to Mask? Correct. It was during his third crime that he struck me from behind. It seems that my memory had become a tad jumbled, so to speak. Well, that's certainly understandable. I myself always get confused about which testimony goes with which case. That can't be good. Indeed, it's true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment. So why did you look away from the door anyway? In addition to the camera, I had prepared a variety of other sensors as well. The alarm on one of those had gone off, so I had to check the data. That's why I went to the computer. Elegantly, of course. So you were momentarily vulnerable when you were working on the computer. What should I do? Should I ask some more questions? So did that computer belong to Lordly Taylor as well? Correct! Well, except for the program that manages the data. That was specially designed by me. Look at me. In that case, he could have easily manipulated the data. What's wrong, Sir Lawyer? However, look at me cannot be so easily discombobulated. What does that mean? Discombobulated. Young people these days, they really irritate me. They allow perfectly good old words to die until everyone forgets what they mean. Sorry, but what exactly does it mean anyway? Now I've forgotten. What was I saying? Jeez, it's better than old people who forget what they were saying 5 seconds ago. Well, it looks like we've cleared that up. You can go on with your testimony. Unfortunately, the thief grabbed a weapon from the side and rendered me senseless. What do you mean by weapon from the side? Naturally, that thief had no idea that I, look at me, was hiding in the area. He grabbed the sword from the statue that was standing by the door to the warehouse. Sword? You mean the sword that was all twisted like a tree branch? Correct. Fortunately for me, the blade was not sharp. Okay, so he is talking about the Shichishido. So the thief armed himself with a sword. What about yourself, witness? A true gentleman fights only with his fists, but they were not enough. You had that much faith in your own fighting abilities? But of course, in college, I was the second in charge of the boxing club. I'm sorry if I failed to find that appropriately impressive. However, my opponent in the ring this time was my arch-nemesis, Mask Star Damask. This guy is a real piece of work. His first blow struck true. Bam! And that's all she wrote. Can you tell us a little more about what happened? My opponent was both powerful and vicious. You might say he was powericious. Powericious. I assumed the at-me fighting stance, but a sudden flash of light blinded me. That, of course, was checkmate. My opponent had bested me. What do I do now? Should I ask more about this? So what was this flash of light that blinded you? I was bathed in the golden light that seemed to come from the statue of the woman. Statue of Amy Faye, I'm guessing. Well, that wasn't very much help at all. Well, what do you think, Nick? Well, there's one thing I'm absolutely sure of now. Yeah? What is it? This look at me guy? He's definitely hiding something. But why? I think I'm starting to figure out what really happened that night. And about the true nature of this detective. Well, there were two other things to ask about in this one and the last one. What kind of sensors are you talking about? There are other places in the basement that someone could enter and exit from. There are air conditioner ducts, sewer pipes, and a cat door as well. I hooked up heat-detecting infrared and ultraviolet sensors to each of them. That's a lot of hardware. Was it all yours? Lordly Taylor Department Store was kind enough to provide the monitoring hardware. Naturally, the security camera that took the photo belongs to them as well. In other words, he couldn't have rigged the equipment, huh? Has that cleared up any doubts you had about me, Sir Lawyer? However... this one. Tell us about the at-me fighting style. What is this at-me fighting style? I'm sorry, but that is a trade secret. I really can't say any more. But I suppose I can tell you, if I absolutely must. The main thing is to put your back to the wall. That way no one can get behind you. That's it? That's the at-me fighting style? Well, Mr. Wright, what about that testimony? Of course it's important. We've learned a detective's secret technique, after all. Yes, indeed. I'll remember to use it if I ever take a walk alone late at night. Why the heck is he eyeballing me like that? It's creeping me out. Ah, then, witness, go ahead and add that secret information to your official testimony. I put my back to the wall to fight, but the thief's blow landed upon my third eye. Where is this third eye you're talking about? Oh, it's right between my right and left eyebrows. It's quite invisible to the unenlightened. You may call it the forehead if you like. Why didn't you just say that in the first place? Sir Lawyer, it looks like the creases in your own forehead are getting deeper. So Mr. Atme got hit on the forehead then? That's what he says. I've got a funny feeling about that. Actually, so do I. Let's see. Damask knocked Atme out during the crime with a blow to the back of the head. That's what that says. I don't know what the source of that specific description is, but I would say that these two contradict. Yep. I'm gonna just get up and take a break here for a few minutes. Not a huge one, but I would like to refill my water and such, so I'll be back. Alright, I'm alive. Water has been had. I think I'll go to the end of this trial phase. I don't know how much longer that is, but we'll probably... It's 2 now. If I do 1 more hour, then that's a weekday stream, basically, which is fine. And if I don't do 1 more hour, that's still a fair amount. But if I finish at the end of a trial phase, then that's halfway through the case. And if I do find out on Tuesday that I need to take a couple of weeks off, again, I don't know, not a doctor, I might be prescribed something or just given instructions that limit my stream time without, like if he says, don't do any more than a certain amount of hours a week, then I'll still make time for this. But it is certainly more taxing than 14, so we'll see. It might be that I have to stop for a bit just as we got started, but if we do that way, we're at a chapter break, not in the... Because that's... I wanted to make sure I streamed this today, because I didn't want to be halfway through an investigation section with, like, no lifeline as to where we begin or end. So, yeah, we don't make decisions now. We just get to the end of this trial phase, and then... see what happens, but I do feel it as I do the at-me voice specifically. Detective Atme, your testimony is crumbling like a house of cards. What fun this is, Sir Lawyer. It is truly a pleasure to cross swords with you. And now, once again, you have thrown down the gauntlet at my armored feet. I believe this is what you said yesterday. No, the coward must have wormed his way in through somewhere besides the door. Oops. Then my arch-nemesis struck me on the head from behind with this gruesome item here. From behind, huh? But just now you testified that he struck you on the forehead. I hardly think you could forget where you were hit on the head. It seems, I've made another mistake. Detective Atme, that's not the only strange part of your testimony. What do you mean by that? For example, the very fact that you hid the calling card from the police itself is strange. It is. Give me a second. It's almost as if you were afraid they were going to help with security. Geniuses such as myself have always been misunderstood. How sad. Objection. How sad. Now you'll notice that Godot's voice there in the objection line isn't quite how I'm going with him, but I never liked that sound. It sounds too goofy. Like, I could do Godot like that voice. I'd be like, to err is human, to forgive divine. But I don't know how to do that and not make him sound like a goofball, and that's not what he is. So I consciously sort of break from that. To err is human, to forgive divine. Humans aren't machines. They have souls, feelings. They live, they die, they love, they hate, and yes, they even make mistakes. Godot is one that I feel like I could do better if my throat were healthy. I'm not quite hitting the tone I want to with him, but I'm still, sending it in the angle that I want to. Hey, hold on, it's not as pretty as that. Really? What is it like then? Always chase a riddle down to the end. That's one of my rules. This is it. This might just be my chance to turn things around. Mr. Wright, what exactly is it that you're asserting? Very well, Your Honor. The defense asserts that... Mr. Atme is no detective. Mr. Atme is a fake. Mr. Atme is Mask to Mask. I mean, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? It'd be a good cover. The answer is simple. It's all clear to me now. Detective Luke Atme's true identity is actually Mask to Mask. Ah! Order! Order in the court! Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? There are too many unnatural parts to Mr. Atme's story. He says he was hiding at the crime scenes, which is why no one ever saw him there. And then, in his last case, he manages to outperform Detective Gumshoe and the entire police force to miraculously retrieve the stolen treasure? That's because I analyzed the crime scene data and made an exquisitely elegant deduction. I picked up clues that the police overlooked in order to arrive at a... Oh, please. The explanation is far simpler than that, Detective Atme. The truth is that you are, in fact, Mask to Mask. But Mr. Wright, this photo, it clearly shows Mask to Mask. This security camera belongs to Lordly Taylor Department Store. He shouldn't have been able to manipulate it. He didn't need to manipulate it. He gained access to the warehouse under the pretense of providing security. Then he simply dressed up as the thief and stole the urn. So the ace detective is actually an ace thief. Is this true, witness? Damask's MO is pure genius, and so am I, Luke Atme, ace detective. You're very clever to have come to such a conclusion. I am impressed, sir lawyer. What? Witness, you're admitting it? Nick, now's your chance. Yes, time to put the last nail in this guy's coffin. Detective Atme, when you assume the thief's identity... Godot Blend 102. My personal favorite. Mr. Godot! The ace detective is actually an ace thief. I smell a best-selling novel. There's only one problem. It simply isn't true. But Mr. Godot, Mr. Wright has made some very strong points, and I will admit my opponent has woven a compelling narrative out of whole cloth. But it is, in fact, nothing more than a patchwork quilt. Mr. Trite, if this detective really is the thief, then show us the proof of your claim. But it had better be as hot and as perfect as the coffee dripping down your face. Well, Mr. Wright, don't just stand there. This court would like to see this decisive proof you have. Quickly! Huh? Oh, yes, of course. What's the big rush? How do I feel about the eyes showing through the coffee? I mean, that's kind of funny and cartoony. I don't like eyes showing through body parts. Like, this is awful. This is the worst sprite in the game. It suggests that her hair is folded into her eye socket. It's disgusting. Eyes showing through coffee just means the coffee is, like, dripped around the eyes. Are you alright, Nick? Atme looks pretty rattled right now. I'd like to finish this right now if I can. Can I really do it? The decisive evidence that proves Mr. Luke Atme is in fact Mask to Mask. I don't fucking know, I don't fucking know, I don't fucking know, I do not fucking know, yeah, I don't fucking know, I don't fucking know, I don't fucking know, I do not fucking know. We have the badge, Magatama, picture of the urn, Amy Faye, urn itself, calling card, camera data, shitto, security camera photo, blackmail letter, Ron's wallet, keycard, publicity photo, and the brooch. Do any of those prove that Luke is the thief? We could do the branch logic. The branch logic is something I use in this game when it gives you the choice of, is there evidence, is there not evidence? If the answer is there's evidence, then you have to present the evidence. If the answer is not evidence, you don't have to present anything. That means, if you're not sure, say that you don't have anything. Because if that's the wrong answer, the game will prompt you back into providing the right one. But if you say you have something and you don't, then you might spend the rest of your fucking days presenting every piece of evidence you have and getting told no. But do we have something? I don't think we do. If anybody has something clear, I'll do a save, do a safety save, and then I'll say I don't think we have anything. Proof? Of course I got nothing. Ha! Just what I thought. A man has to hold his head up high no matter how bad things get, after all. I see. I thought perhaps you had some evidence to back up your assertion. This is no good. I've got to stay on the attack. I'll never get another chance to prove that this guy is the thief. Don't give up, Nick. Think harder and try again. It's no good. I'm just not ready yet. But are you going to just give up and let us lose this? So, you've come to your senses, have you, Sir Lawyer? I can't think of a counterattack at all. It seems the cloud of suspicion surrounding this witness has lifted. Mr. Godot, if you have anything further to add, then... Who are you? That doesn't really matter right now, does it? Mr. Light, what are you doing here? Nicky boy! The thing you've been looking for. I think I found it. You mean that bag? No, not the bag. What's in the bag? Well? That's... the sacred urn! Nick, it's the urn! Order! Order, order! You, madam! That urn, where did you find it? You'll never believe it. It was in the office of Mr. Fancy Pants Ace Detective, Luke Atme. Oh, Desi, you're the best! Sacred urn, updated in the court record, found in the office of Luke Atme with pink splotches all fucking over it. Wow. Well, how do you explain that one, Mr. Atme? Even you're gonna have a hard time weaseling out of this one.
Objection!
Pathetic. Mr. Godot? Do you have something you wish to say? Also, yeah, it seems to have been repaired. Properly. Yes, Your Honor. It simply amazes me how quickly times change. In the old days, a man was to be taken at his word. It's truly sad. You're still denying that Mr. Atme was involved?
Before casting aspersions at Detective Atme, consider the young lady here. Your name is Desiree. Desiree Delight. Is that correct?
Yeah? What about it?
How charming. The lengths that a woman is willing to go to save her husband is truly inspiring.
What are you insinuating? It's true, you can see that the paint ends at the cracks.
As the wife of the criminal, you could have discovered that stolen urn anywhere, including the office of the good detective here. So you found the urn. What does that prove? It certainly doesn't prove where the urn was before you found it.
What? I just brought it here from the detective's office.
Please, madame. This town is already filled to the brim with lies. Any more could only compound the tragedy we have been witness to.
You're wrong! I would never do such a thing! Mr. Light. Please, Nicky boy, you gotta help me talk some sense into these people! There must be some way. Got to prove that urn was actually in the Atme Detective Agency. Fingerprints? I can prove where the urn was. By the fingerprints on it.
Fingerprints, eh?
Oh, come now! Now you're really making me laugh, sir lawyer. Fingerprints indeed. May I go on? Good. Now, it would be perfectly understandable if my fingerprints were on the urn. After all, it was I who was guarding the urn in the first place. In any case, I am always in the habit of wearing gloves, as you can see. So, unfortunately, my fingerprints wouldn't be evidence of anything. Well, yeah, they would. If you always wear gloves, why the fuck weren't you wearing them at the time that the fingerprints got on the urn?
What about it, Mr. Wright? This witness's fingerprints would mean nothing anyway.
Nick, what are you gonna do now? I've come too far to turn back now. Atme must have brought the urn back to his office yesterday. And there, I'm sure someone must have left their fingerprints on it. The defense proposes that the fingerprints of this person should be on the urn. So what is all this fuss about fingerprints, anyway? Mr. Atme, do you recall the events of yesterday? Hey, Nick, come on! Open it up! Hey, wait a minute, we can't just open his private property. Don't be such a fuddy-duddy, this is an important investigation. Well, what's in there? Hang on a sec, I'm taking it out now. Whatever it is, it feels kind of hard and smooth. Well, hello there! It's true that I didn't get a chance to look in the bag at that time. But I did touch what was inside. But what? You touched it? And I remember it very well. It was smooth and hard. Well, that was just my detachable penis. Your Honor, I'd like the court to examine the fingerprints on that urn. If my fingerprints are on there, then it proves that the urn was in Detective Atme's office.
Objection!
Well, even if your fingerprints are on the urn, it still doesn't prove when they were put there, does it?
Of course it does.
What did you say?
It's not what I say, but what Adrian Andrews, the person in charge of the exhibition, said. I polished it until it was just about glowing. I thought maybe I could make it more valuable. If she polished it that much, she must have removed any and all fingerprints on it. And the only chance I had to get my fingerprints on it after that was yesterday, at the Atme Detective Agency.
Ah. This blend, Godot Blend 107. I've decided it's a little too bitter after all.
Order, order, order. I accept the defense's request. Bailiff, take this urn and... Wait! Wait a moment, Your Honor! There's no need for that.
No need, you say?
Precisely. I already know Mr. Wright's fingerprints are on the urn.
What are you saying?
Yes, I've finally broken him down. Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown.
This guy is nuttier than a fruitcake.
You see, it was me all along. I am the one and only Mask Star Damask. I hope you all enjoyed my little performance. Eat shit, Damon Gant. Now that's how you collapse into laughter.
Well, Mr. Godot, what's Mr. Atmy's condition?
He's still in the lobby, laughing insanely, Your Honor. I wish I could enjoy the joke as much as he seems to be.
Well, it looks like the matter has been settled. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of thief.
Nick, you were right after all.
Yeah, I guess Mr. Delight really wasn't the thief.
This court finds the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight.
You're wrong! Wrong, I tell you! I mean, not exactly wrong so much, but actually not right is what I was really trying to say.
Oh no. He's not. This can't be happening.
The thief. The sneaky, odious thief who's been stealing all the treasures. It's me! I'm him! I'm the one you want! I'm the thief, I tell you! So do it! Pronounce me guilty! Please!
I don't know what kind of kangaroo court you all think this is, but...
The true identity of the thief has already been proven. Please hurry and pass judge... What are you talking about? I already confessed. I'm the thief, I tell you!
Mr. Godot, don't just stand there drinking coffee. Ha! Hey there, Mr. Thief.
Yes? Yes, sir.
If you're really a man, then clean up your own mess.
I'm sorry? I'm afraid I just don't have any idea what you mean.
If you are Mask Damask, then prove it. That's what it means.
Yes, sir. I'll be happy to. He says he'll be happy to, Nick.
It's kind of cute. He's 100% committed to this fantasy.
Good boy. Just remember one thing. A boy only gets one chance in his life to become a man.
I know that. I won't fail. I swear.
Okay then. Talk. We're all listening. Oh well. Let's all have a listen to this confession.
The truth is, I've been Mask Damask all along. I mean, you can't prove that I'm not actually Mask Damask, can you? I don't have an alibi for the night the urn was stolen, after all. I donned my costume that night and dancingly descended upon the scene of the crime. Look, you can see right there in the photo. That's me. As for my brooch, I snagged it on the door handle and it got torn off, that's all.
I don't like the direction this trial has taken.
But this is how every trial goes. At least with me, anyway.
Ha! You're doing great.
Stop it, Mr. Godot. You're embarrassing me.
Like I said, you're only going to get one chance to testify, alright? But if you make it through this with flying colors, I'll keep my promise too. I'll make sure you stay locked up in prison as the one and only true Mask Damask.
Thanks so much, Mr. Godot. I'll do my best.
All right, Mr. Wright, I'm afraid it's time for the cross-examination.
Mask to Mask's identity. The truth is, I've been Mask to Mask all along. You may think you're the real Mask to Mask, but your wife thinks you're delusional. I haven't told Desi yet. About my true identity, I mean. Believe me, I've got my reasons. With the way your room is decked out, how could she not know about it?
Even thieves have complicated family situations, I suppose.
What should I do? Sounds like we're about to get sidetracked. Again. So why are you withholding the truth from your wife? Well, first of all, I don't think she'd believe me anyway. And second, if there's one thing that Desi absolutely detests, it's criminals.
If that's the case, then why did you ever start thieving to begin with?
Well, Desi is crazy about shopping. She's a real shopaholic. But she's the love of my life, Your Honor. I guess you could say I'm a Desi-aholic.
So you do have a complicated family situation after all.
Alright, that's enough. Please continue with your testimony. I fucking beg you. I mean, you can't actually prove that I'm not Master Mask, can you? I thought you were going to be the one to show us the proof. You know, that you're the real Mask to Mask and not just some kind of obsessed fanboy. Hey, now that's not fair. Why do I have to do all the hard work anyway? Maybe because you're the one making the outrageous claim? For a change? Come on, Nick. You know that Mr. Delight couldn't have committed the crime. You're the one with the fancy law degree. It's time to put it to work already. I need some kind of proof that Ron couldn't possibly be Mask to Mask. Well, I guess if you had that kind of proof, we wouldn't still be here, would we? For the time being, maybe I need to shift strategy. I should try to show that Delight couldn't have had stolen the urn. Anyway, I don't have an alibi for the night the urn was stolen, after all. You got no alibi?
I've been a judge for a long time, and this is the first time I've ever heard a defendant brag about having no alibi.
But I tell you, I was in Lordly Taylor that night. No. That's too vague, even for me. To be more precise, I was down at the basement warehouse. Hold on. What is it, Nick? Where was Ron Delight when the crime happened, anyway? If we can prove he had an alibi after all, this case will be a piece of cake. Well, you're right, but...
Ha! You think you can prove that? Wake up and smell the coffee.
We do have something. We have the blackmail thing. Well, I think maybe I can.
Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence that shows the defendant has an alibi?
I have the evidence. Or do you think I'm still some sort of third-rate rookie?
Oh, I've never seen you this angry before. I'm not surprised. Anger is the last refuge of the pathetic.
I thought I was more confident than angry.
Well then, let's see this evidence already. Show to this court evidence that proves where your client was on the night of the crime.
So the blackmail letter says if you don't want your true identity revealed to the world, come to KB Security at 1 a.m. on October 12th and bring $50,000. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. That doesn't prove he went. That proves he was invited. What proves he went, or at least suggests he went, is that his wallet was found there at 1 a.m. the night of the crime.
Take that!
Mr. Delight, this wallet belongs to you, correct? Yes, it does. I had lost it somewhere.
Mr. Wright, when you find a wallet, you should report it to the police right away.
No, you don't understand. This is an important piece of evidence.
Evidence?
Mr. Delight, when did you first notice that you'd lost your wallet? Let's see. I think it was on the night of the crime. But I know I still had it when Desi and I went out for dinner. This wallet was found at approximately 1 a.m. at KB Security Headquarters.
What? Surely you're not serious.
Yes, I am serious. This proves that Mr. Delight was in fact at KB Security that night. No! So if the defendant was at KB Security at 1 o'clock in the morning, then that proves that he has a watertight alibi. No! Furthermore, Considering the distance between Lordly Taylor and KB Security, it would have taken 30 minutes to get there by car. According to Larry, anyway. Well, Mr. Godot, do you have anything to say? And stop drinking that coffee! Come on, Mr. Thief. Don't let this guy beat you. Tell him why he's wrong.
You're the only one who calls me thief, Mr. Godot. All right, I'll try. I'll do it. I will. He's really got Mr. Delight all worked up.
Yeah, he's like a kid at his first day of school.
Look, it's just ridiculous. Why would I have dropped my wallet at KB Security? Someone must have planted it there to make it look like I was there and not at the heist.
Planted it there? Oh, he's really reaching now. Mr. Delight, you probably dropped your wallet when you took it out to use this, didn't you? The keycard to KB Security CEO's office?
No!
Ha! That was a pretty good try, Mr. Trite. Unfortunately, you've overlooked one small thing.
What?
Motive, of course. Why would this thief go to KB Security in the middle of the night anyway? Well, Mr. Wright, it looks like you need some more evidence after all.
Ah, this stupid kid.
Now then, let's see your evidence. The evidence that shows why Mr. Delight went to KB Security at 1 a.m. that night.
Blackmail letter, obviously. Mr. Delight, I believe you've seen this before, correct?
That's...
What is it?
A blackmail letter. That's what it looks like from the contents.
Blackmail?
Yes, basically it says, bring $50,000.
That certainly sounds like blackmail, all right.
At the time of the theft, Mr. Delight was dealing with the blackmailer himself. In KB Security's CEO office, a full half an hour away from the scene of the crime.
No, 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 no! Order, order, order! So when the theft of the urn occurred, the defendant was at KB Security. It looks like a perfect case for the defense. Objection! You may see it as a perfect case, Judge, but to me... Well, let's just say that my Godot Blend 107 impresses me a lot more.
What are you trying to say?
You say the thief was being blackmailed by the CEO of a security company. But, did you actually investigate this CEO at all?
Huh? Well, no, I guess not.
Accusing a man of blackmail with no proof. I'm not sure what I think of that.
Not sure what I think of that? At least I know what I think of you.
Good point. I'm not sure what I think of it myself. You claim that the defendant entered the CEO's office. But you will need at least one witness to corroborate that, Mr. Wright.
Nick, I think we're gonna have to track down the CEO guy.
No, we don't have to track down the CEO at all.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Trite?
There is someone else who can testify. This is the person who can testify that the keycard was used at 1 a.m. that night. Larry Buckin' Butts.
Who is this useless-looking young man?
You don't remember him, Your Honor?
Not exactly. But just looking at his picture makes the bile start to rise in my throat.
Looks like he doesn't remember the case from 2 years ago. Probably blocked out that memory on purpose. Anyway, this man was working as a guard at KB Security that night.
Oh?
Question at hand is this keycard. Yep, that's the keycard they use in the building I work. According to the serial number, this one's for the CEO's office. You need it to get into that thing every time you blah blah blah. Yeah, it tells you exactly who entered the room and when. As you can see, there's no need to investigate the CEO of KB Security. We should be able to discover the truth simply by analyzing this keycard's data.
Well, Mr. Godot, the name of the CEO of KB Security is Kane Bullard. I was unable to contact him directly, but I got the keycard data. Here. So what does it show? Each keycard has its own serial number and they leave detailed records of their use. According to this data, the card was used at 1 a.m. on the morning of the crime.
But that means it can't be Mr. Delight dressed as Mask to Mask in this photo.
Looks like you're right. 2 minutes isn't even enough time to brew a good cup of joe.
So then.
Ron Delight was clearly in the office of KB Security's CEO at the time of the crime. The prosecutor's office is ready to admit that fact. Therefore, it's impossible for the defendant to be Mask to Mask.
Good job! You did it, Nick!
That's enough! I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of thief.
What's wrong, Your Honor?
I'm ready to pass judgment, but before I do that, do you have any further objections?
No, Your Honor.
Very well. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight,
not guilty.
Court is now adjourned.
Well, that was short. October 13, 2:22 p.m. or 2:24 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 4. Nick, you did it! You were right after all! Actually, I'm a little bit ashamed of myself. Nicky boy! Oh, Miss Delight. I knew you could do it. I believed in you all along, Nicky boy. I don't know how I could ever repay you. Ah, shucks. Thanks, Miss Delight. I just know I'm blushing. Congratulations, Mr. Nick. Oh, pearls. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Who is this woman?
Oh, she's nobody. She's just,
You're blushing! How dare you do this in front of Mystic Maya! You should be ashamed of yourself!
Yow! She slapped me. Pearly. This woman is Miss Desiree Delight. She's our client's wife.
Mr. Nick!
Yes?
You're even worse than I thought, going behind the back of your own client.
No, you got it all wrong.
I'll never forgive you!
How? A double slap. Well, anyway, all's well that ends well, right? We got the sacred urn back and the thief has been caught. You're so right, and it's all thanks to Nicky boy here. But actually, it was you, Miss Delight, that brought us our urn back. Thank you from the bottom of our heart. Ah, please, you're embarrassing me. If we won the case, then why does this guy still look so glum? But I am the thief. Actually, what's the point now? What is it, honey? I did my best for you, Ronnie. I know, and I appreciate that, Desi, but the thing is...
Come on. Give the kid some time. He's just got a little touch of the blues. You know about feeling blue, right, amigo?
Mr. Godot, what are you doing here?
Oh, come on. I just came here to say thanks to my newest buddy. You, Mr. Trite.
Maybe you should learn my name before you call me buddy.
Well, playtime is over.
Huh?
Early this morning, the body of Kane Bullard was discovered.
Kane Bullard? Where have I heard that name before? Isn't that the name of the CEO of KB Security? Wait, body?
The estimated time of death was 1 a.m. on October 12th.
1 a.m. on October 12th. You don't mean...
That's right, amigo. At the same time that a cheap little urn was being stolen, the CEO of KB Security was being murdered.
So then, what are you doing here?
Oh, come on. You figured it out already, haven't you, amigo? Or have you already forgotten about that piece of info I helped you out with today?
Helped me out? What?
On October 12th at 1 o'clock in the morning, Ron Delight was in the CEO's office. The scene of the murder. After getting that blackmail letter, he must have been imbrued with utter rage.
What are you saying? Imbrued with rage?
Come on. Don't tell me you didn't know. Ron Delight was once an employee of KB Security. He was a professional security guard.
An employee of KB Security?
It looks like the alibi that saved him from being convicted as a thief is going to be the noose that gets him hanged. Kind of an anti-alibi.
No way.
He can't be the thief because he was at the murder scene when the murder occurred.
No, that's a lie. It can't be true.
Oh, but I am a thief, I tell you.
Ron Delight, you're going back to prison again. This time the charge is much more serious. This time, you'll be tried for murder.
What? This is impossible.
I'm looking forward to another exciting showdown, Mr. Trite. You and I aren't through with each other yet. Surely you won't back down from a challenge. You've never been a coward.
Mr. Nick, is there something personal between you two?
I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. At least let me have some fun while I'm here.
This guy. Who the heck is he? He may be quiet, but he's the most dangerous enemy I've ever faced.
Well then, time to say goodbye to Mr. Delight.
Nick, how could this be happening?
Right in front of our very eyes, our client has been arrested for murder. And the one who established his presence at the scene was me.
Ah! Ronnie!
Arrested for murder on the very same day he's declared innocent of larceny. What the heck's gonna happen next? Well, we're not gonna know. Hopefully, we'll get to continue this next week, but I can't promise that. We will continue it eventually. I still have a voice. I'm sure that whatever is going on with my throat can be mended. So, how do you, what are you saying there, Snip? Anyway. So we're not done. There continues a case here. I love this. I love the way this is done. I said before I couldn't remember whether there was a murder or not. And it was true, I couldn't. But I knew there was a murder as soon as he got declared not guilty on day one. Because that couldn't be the end. It did feel weird to have an entire case without a body. We also didn't solve it the way we normally do. Like, technically we solved it the way a defense lawyer is supposed to do. We proved that our client was innocent. But we didn't actually establish what happened. Presumably, Luke Atme stole the urn, but we didn't establish who the blackmailer was. We didn't establish why Ron is so desperate to say that he's the thief. We didn't finish it. Yeah, but we didn't establish it to like a... Normally, we work out every detail in this game. It felt half done. We had a presumable explanation, but it didn't tick every box. Anyway, I forget how to quit. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're leaving. They don't really give you a quit to menu option from the chapter breaks, which is stupid, because that's exactly when people should be quitting to menu. There's a lot of stuff with the urn. Yeah, the urn was fixed. Who the fuck did that? Why? Presumably they broke it again, at which point they did not realize that in order to make it look like it did before, they actually had to fix it wrong. And the paint looks very strange. Anyway, who's live, Snip? I don't actually know who you mean. On Twitch? Huh. I did not know he did Twitch. Well, there you go. The bend was not caused by hitting Atmi's head. Well, if Atmi was the only one there, then he didn't hit himself. But maybe someone else was there. We don't know what the fuck's going on with Atmi. But yeah, there's another day. Anyway, I presumably will be back tomorrow. I don't know how long I'll stream tomorrow. 14 isn't as taxing, but the Beast Tribes can be, especially because we're ranking up Vanu and Moogles. I might struggle a bit, but I'll try to do a 4-hour stream. Like, I don't think I can do a 6-hour stream at the minute. At least I don't think I should. But we'll try and be on tomorrow, unless I really don't feel well after this. We could raid Brental Floss. Why not? This is if you don't know who that is, he's a YouTube musician of sorts. One of the people I watched like 10 years ago. He would take video game songs and ascribe lyrics to them and sing over them. And kind of one of my influences. Half the shit I do. I don't really do very many of them. I've done one, really. But Travis McElroy's college roommate. Okay. Cool. But we'll go say hi. He has no idea who I am, but we'll go say hi. Nope. Doesn't work. This target channel only allows in-network raids. I've seen that more and more lately. I don't know if that's a new feature or just something that more people are adopting, but some people don't allow raiding from any old person. So anyway, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Fare thee well.